Today I went to Daiso and they had blind bags. So I'm actually really funny, and apparently I cannot read because I thought these were all buttons. Turns out, no, that is a can lid mirror. But I'm making this video anyway because I can't return things after you buy them at Daiso. Woohoo! These were actually the very last ones they had in stock. These I specifically got because I high-key feel like they're ugly. Like, what is that? And these, they're kind of cute. They're kind of cute. I'm really disappointed that they're not badges. I actually have a video about making rosettes. I think they're really cute. They're very fun. Lots of fun little layers. I made another one as a gift for my friend. I'll try to like put an image here. I like collecting badges for this little hobby, even though I've only made 2 so far. Every time I see badges, I'm just like, ooh, I want that so much. And then I don't do it because I'm trying to like be responsible with my money. For starters, I'm gonna just say what I want so we can all be disappointed together. I really want either this Gojo or Toji because I really love this Gojo design and I like Toji. So, and then for these, I actually got these because my best friend, she loves Haikyu. So I was going to like actually make her a ribbon badge, but you know, mirror, I'm gonna try to find a way to make this still giftable to her. But she really likes Nishinoya and Kenma, so I hope I get at least one of them. Let's do Haikyu first. Oh my gosh, yay! Perfect. Okay, that's perfect. It actually makes me really happy. Okay. Okay, I need to relax. That's so great. Okay, should I do the other? Let's do the other Haikyu. I'm curious. Well, okay, well, I have one for her. Is there one I want? I don't know if they're an option here, but if we got Akashi and Bokuto, that's who I want. I'd also be chill with Oikawa and Iwazumi. I'm very happy. I like most of Haikyu, so, but Akashi is definitely my favorite. I see yellow. Who is yellow? I don't remember which team is yellow. What is that? What is that? What? Is there like a paper in here? Or is it just... Ooh, I'm keeping this. This is nice and sturdy. Border. Don't know what that is. Okay. And now for this. Toji or Gojo. Toji or Gojo. My brain's gears were turning and I realized I have some of these like mesh bags. I think I can like just sew a pouch for it. So it's like held in place and like she can still take it places and you can like see the design. And I'm gonna use this ugly thing to make everything. It is 10:24 p.m. I guess this is my evening now. I'm really invested. It's now 3:57 a.m. My neck hurts. I went through my wares and I have this glitter tool and also this black fabric. And I think I'll sew these together to like make a little circular pouch. The only thing I'm not 100% about is the lid, I guess. Because in my head, I'm kind of thinking like, kind of like an envelope, like you lift a flap and then you pull it out. My only thing is I want it to be simple. And if it's circular, like you kind of have to like dig. I don't just want it to like be open on the top. I'll figure it out. I will figure out a mechanism and then I'll explain it if I make it. Oh, I have to make it. This is for my friend. I'm not making it. Even if she doesn't want a mirror, she will be the recipient of this innovation. It's just happening. Hey, cool cats and kittens. So I couldn't decide on what background music I wanted to have for the process sections. So I decided I'll just do a voiceover. Well, right now, I didn't want to waste fabric. So I decided to do a rough draft with paper. How effective was that? I'd say not at all because I didn't use any of these patterns, really. I decided to put a piece of cardstock in the back in hopes that it'll help it be a little less floppy woppy even when the mirror is not inside. Oh, hi, Malleus. There's me erasing the pencil. And this is me using felt. I don't think I mentioned felt earlier. Or maybe I did and I edited it out because I talked a lot. I don't want to talk about how much raw footage of this I actually had. Anyway, so I'm using just some random black fabric, some black felt, and then cardstock. And I sandwiched the cardstock in the middle so you don't see it. And I only realized this after recording for a couple of hours. But when you're using black fabric, black felt, and black thread, you kind of can't see anything. So I guess I'm pushing a needle through stuff but it's not very, hey, here's like the process, whatever. So I'm doing a mixture of feeling the cardboard and sewing around that, very messily, mind you. And then also putting the actual mirror on top and doing it that way. What's happening now? Oh, I'm cutting the little opening that I'm gonna put mesh through. This is honestly one of my favorite parts because wait for it's gonna be so great. Look at that sandwich. Look at that. Oh, lovely. Lovely. It's lovely, I tell you. I'm having a really hard time sewing this, but I'm gonna just do a little loop around the inside. And then I'll come back. 40 billion hours later, and I have a pouch. It folds down, comes out. I'm going to stitch on a silly little guy eventually, but first I'm gonna trim. I love me a good awkward cutoff, and I'm going to keep doing it for this video because I talk too much. Anyways, this is me trimming, like I said. Wow, woman of her word. Still trimming. Still trimming. Done trimming. Now I decided to put a ribbon so that it can be a keychain. Actually, I think I said that earlier, and that was part of what I cut out. Great. Anyways, I put in a ribbon, and I'm sewing it between the fabric and the felt, so it's kind of hidden in there. And I also use it to kind of like mark the center of the fold. Did I do that well? I don't think so, but I'm going to try to not think about it. I also use the ribbon as a guideline for where to put the little snappy guy. I do not know what they're called. I remember I sewed it initially too high up, so I had to rip it off and then sew it a second time. And it was a little better. Still not perfect, but I'm not doing it a third time because sewing this thing was a nightmare. I don't know how people are like practically supposed to do it. I did not look up a tutorial for any of this, by the way. I just refuse to learn how people do things because I want to figure it out myself. Work harder, not smarter. I do this for the love of the game. It snaps. It does not feel secure at all though. So I'm gonna probably stitch it some more actually, but it does snap shut, which is something. And I cannot wait to stitch up these raw edges because it's just a mess. What time is it? No! I didn't do my Traveler Trails and Genshin Impact today. It's okay. I'm all right. Stitching the raw edges. This is my Stitching the Raw Edges song. I'm stitching the raw edges around the circle, stitching the raw edges. She's stitching the raw edges, looping around the perimeter, so she's stitching the raw edges. Hold the fabric up in place. This is definitely not a race. Stitching the raw edges. I'm now gluing thin ribbon onto thicker ribbon for sleigh detailing. Yeah, I used a candle and I burnt the edges off of the edges. What am I talking about? I burnt the edges and I'm pretty sure I inhaled a lot of toxic fumes. I tried to limit it by just not breathing, but I also did not open my windows, which, you know, probably should have done that. Anywho, it's to help not fray over time. At least I think that's what it's supposed to do. Maybe the other crafters just like inhaling toxic fumes. I'm not sure. I'm now using my fancy Gorilla hot glue to mend them together to make, I actually don't know what these are called. Petals? I'm not sure. Anyways, I had a moment of innovative genius and I realized I could just cut a circle out of tape and then stick the petal guys onto that and I could just form them. So that was really fun and slay. I'm not sure how I managed to mess up the spacing. I had a very foolproof, technically skillful method to doing this. And then I messed it up near the end. And it's just kind of bunched up. You can't really notice it. Like if I look really hard, maybe I can, but it's whatever. And then I went ahead and tried to secure it in place with my super epic Gorilla hot glue. And I just glued the sides together, and the original plan was to like have the little circle and then remove the tape from the get-go. And then I got scared that if I removed the tape that the entire thing would unravel. Tokyo Ghoul. And I decided I'll just leave it there for now. I'll just leave it there, and there's lots of hot glue in the center and nice and fun. Wow. And then there's me putting the pouch, that's what I've been calling it, the pouch
so you could see them all together. Like, oh, that's so pretty. So now I'm adding lace because I really like textures. You can barely see it by the end of the video, but trust me, in person, this is so nice. Why are the vents on? Why did the vents turn on? Is this Five Nights at Freddy's Get Away From Me? I don't know if you can hear them, but the vents are on and they're here to stay. It kind of passed the hot glue part, but I did make a mental note to mention that yes, the hot glue did seep through the lace, and yes, I still used my fingers to press the lace down. I stabbed and burnt my fingers so many times while making this thing. I have no regard for my fingers' safety. I do not believe in thimbles. Throughout the entire process of making this thing, I was mentally trying to figure out how I was going to sew the back pedals onto this thing. And as you can tell, I just completely gave up and succumbed to the power of Gorilla Hot Glue. And I just put that there. Spoiler, it still doesn't feel very secure, and there's like a little bit of a gappy gap in the back pedals, but it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. And this is me trying to make a bow. I looked up a lot of tutorials on how to make little bows, and truthfully, I hated all of them. I'm not even really satisfied with this one, but it's the best that I've got. There's a lot of other stuff I didn't record because I prioritized this looking at least semi-nice rather than getting everything captured in video. So if you see something at the very end, you're like, wait a minute, when did she do that? Off camera. That is the answer. Now there's water going through the pipes. This is what the guy is looking like. Whoa. It is time for the moment of truth and see what it looks like with its intended inside. A little snug. A little snug. Very snug. Does not fit. How much bigger are you? Yeah, a lot bigger. A little bit of a lot bigger. Gojo's also too fat. Get him on Ozempic. This is so sick and twisted. Hyuna kind of fits. Hyuna fits in there. Ah! Well, you live and you learn. At least it's pretty. At least I made something pretty, right? At least I made something pretty. Yeah.